everyone, and welcome back to Little Rocket Lab. Angela wants us to come fix the boardwalk. So if I remember correctly, we are going to need wood, possibly some stone, and an assembler one, I think. We might need an assembler too, but I honestly just don't remember. So let's go find out. So if you haven't set up power at the train station, you're also going to need power, or you can just go get the blueprint, come back to the factory, make it, and then bring it back. But I'm just trying to save a little bit of time. Since I already have the materials, I'm pretty sure. Alright, so she's going to give us the blueprints. Boardwalk planks. It was iron plates, and it was an assembler level 2. So I did have the wood, I just picked the wrong metal. That's okay, it doesn't take near as long now that we have Toasty. Forgot what I set up over there for a moment. Now, it may seem crazy to set up a whole nother factory just for some planks, but that's not exactly what I'm doing. You are going to get one-offs on occasion of someone wanting you to build them something very specific. Now you could actually set this up with a buffer if you wanted to use it repetitively. Not for the boardwalk planks because it's really not necessary, but for anything else. Let's see. Actually, I'm going to set this up a little bit differently. You may need an assembler, for an item. You know what? No, I'm not going to do that. Never mind. I'm just going to use some dispensers. Now I could have used some buffers if I wanted to. Okay, let's see. So I do not want to end up with a bunch of boardwalk planks that I can't do anything with. So I need to make, I want to say 10. Yes. So I'm only going to grab of these. Alright, so 10 iron plates. So I'm only going to need 20 wood. And while that is making, I'm going to put my wood up. I'm going to check to see if my cranes are finished, and they are. So I'm going to change the configuration on this to something I know it can't produce, because I have so many needs for the steel beams that takes up. And I am not having any luck right now in getting a nice influx of steel beams due to my lack of iron at the moment. So without going into a mine situation, this is kind of all the iron that I have at the moment. And I still have to fix the train. So although I was super excited in getting all of this built out, I may have misjudged how much iron was over there. Now don't get me wrong, I still have, you know, this huge pile over here. It's just not routed to also go to my second assembly line. So it's really slowed down in its progress at the moment. Now I could set up a splitter to just start collecting this stuff here and then hand feed it to the other side, which I might end up doing, or I might attempt to reroute it. I just honestly haven't decided yet. But our 10 boards are finished. So let's go fix our boardwalk. And just like everything else, you're just going to use X to place it. And just to kind of show you what's over here, it is this really interesting water fountain pit type deal with the clock that to me almost looks like you can put like a conveyor belt under it. Now clearly it is in need of repair. 15,000 gears is a lot, and so far no one's asked us to fix that, so not really sure what happens if you fix it, so I'll probably wait until later to do that. Although something to aspire to. So Angela was over here earlier. Let's see if she's still hanging out. Oh, there she is. She'll be so happy. Alright, so no one's seen the clock work for years. So we could fix it if we wanted to. When the train comes and I start making some iron, I can definitely route some of that into the clock, which might be what I do. We shall see. But in the meantime, no, I forgot. Well, I feel like I'm gonna run over people, and Sabrina already doesn't like me. She doesn't really like anybody, it seems. We're gonna go ahead and place our cranes. Now, obviously, I'm still missing some conveyor belts. I think I ran out when I was trying to do this. So we want to go A to B. So I think we have to do the other side first. I feel like it's going to be maybe this one. Yes. Okay. So I'm just going to do kind of like here in the middle. A to B. trying to get from different sides of the boat. I don't know that it necessarily really matters, but just in case. Oh, I'm going to need some more power. Alright, so that gives us some different spots in the boat. So you can kind of see where like the crane is gonna collect from. So we'll do that. It's kind of even. I don't know that it really matters. Come back and get Toasty. And if you want to see him cut some grass, you hit X. And oh, hey, look, there's some stone that we can get. So it's kind of fun to, oh no. But you have to be careful because you can do something like that. Where I ran into my underpass. And in case you're wondering, here is one of the mines. I'm actually going to go ahead and grab this ore. Because I am running low on my second assembler. Okay, so there's that one. Then there's that one. And all of these look like they have the conveyor belts. And then this will come into a recycler and a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, so I took my assembler, my dispenser from here. And I don't think I have the items in my pocket. I do not. So I'm going to have to make another dispenser. Okay, Toasty cannot get through. But he will, like, reappear in his sleeping habitat in the morning, so not that I just want to leave him there. And my pockets are full, so I'm going to put the tennis ball up for just a minute. I'm going to go ahead and grab these because I don't really have anything to use them with at the moment. I'll place that one there, which it's going to need to be copper. And I grabbed way too much ore. But it will not take long for it to dissipate, considering I have 3 of those. Okay, let's see. Where does that lead? It leads to here. Okay, I have copper bars being made, but I don't know so much about copper ore. So I may have to place the dispenser in a slightly different spot. 42, that is not a lot. What about this one? Alright. Just gonna leave the 6 here for the moment. Go ahead and give the university another 100 steel beams. Okay, so we need to reconfigure this one. Right, and that should get me steel beams over here. Yes, okay, at least we're producing there. Alright, this one. Needs more iron bars. Alright, let's see if this fixes this one. It should. Yes, okay. So I have a couple of dispensers running around. That I tend to forget about, to be completely honest. Okay, let's see. I needed more power. So I need 15 gears. I have gears in here, yes. And copper wire. I'm just gonna go ahead and make 3. then get my gears back. And let me just see how this is doing over here with the iron supply, because I may want to top it off. And just like that, it is topped off. So once the train comes in and I have quite a bit of ore coming in, hopefully I will not have to do this anymore with hand feeding. Okay. So now we are going to go to the part, Boardwalk, I mean. We'll have to go the long way since I did not make a pathway for Toasty to get through. That is enough power, but it doesn't really sound happy, so I'm gonna do 3 of them. Alright, and now I'm going to go talk to Pete. Who should be down there on the beach. In this lovely little house. So it's nice to know that Toasty can walk downstairs. Alright, this should be Pete. Hey there, Morgan. How's it going? Good. I wanted to ask you about reopening the pier. Rebecca and Nora are needing old electronics for their research, and we are hoping to start importing them. Wish I could help you there, but we haven't been able to bring in any shipments for years now. Not since the old Lighthouse collapsed, so it's impossible then. Maybe not impossible. Come on, let's take a walk. Like I said, it ain't pretty. How did it get this bad? Well, it wasn't overnight, that's for sure. Over the years, we started to get a few cracks here and there. Didn't realize how bad it was, though. Then one night a few years back, a huge storm came in, took the whole thing down. Now I don't even know where to begin. I'm afraid without the lighthouse, we won't be able to take in any shipments at the pier. It just isn't safe for ships to approach the coast. But it could be repaired, right? I suppose so. I'm sure if your mother was still around, she'd come up with a way. I think I could rebuild it. Is that so? Sabrina, I didn't see you there. You're going to rebuild this entire lighthouse. Now I've heard everything. Well, I thought it's been like this for so long, maybe I could help get the repairs going again. The lighthouse has been broken for years, just like everything else in this town. One day you show up and now you're going to build it all yourself. I'll believe it when I see it. No, Sabrina, you haven't seen what Morgan here is capable of yet. Her mother was the one that maintained this lighthouse in the first place. Well, let's hope for everyone that she can fill those shoes. What is her deal? She's been like this ever since I showed up. Sabrina is, well, she's a tough one. Kind of like this with most people, honestly. Don't put too much thought into it. She's got her own problems she's dealing with. I'll show her I'll fix this whole thing myself. Well, like your spirit, but even your mother knew when to ask for help. Did Mom really work on the lighthouse even while she was building the rocket? She sure did. Incredible woman your mother. Wasn't a single job she couldn't tackle. After she passed, well, no one really picked up the mantle, so to speak. Maybe it's about time someone did. Up there, you can find the supply depot for dropping off material we need for the lighthouse. You can inspect the depot to see what materials we need. Material can be delivered either by hand or by using a conveyor belt. If you're able to gather all the required materials, we may be able to get this lighthouse finally repaired. What do you say, Morgan? Ready to show us what you're made of? I sure am. So we need... It's really not that bad. I was thinking it was going to be like 2,000 stones. but let's get toasty and get the supplies. Well, getting up the stairs is not as easy as going down. That's for sure. Alright, I'm gonna leave Toasty here for just a second while I grab what I need. Okay, let's see. I'm going to grab the stone over here first because I would really like to use this container in other spots. Alright, so we have 1, 2, 3, 400. 5, 6, 7. Well, I didn't mean to do that. 8. 9. And just so the other drill isn't the only one working, let's grab some out of here. Not sure how I ended up with a random 1. Alright, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep. Alright, so now we have the stone. The 4 winches is nothing. Steel beams 33. So between the two, we basically have 100. Well, we'll go ahead and drop this off. Now we just need 400 more steel beams, which is going to take a while because for some reason it is running extremely slow. It really probably isn't. It just feels that way because I really want them and I want them now. But they are at least both working. So it won't take forever. But we are pretty much waiting on steel beams for the majority of our stuff. We can go ahead and deliver the 150 motors to the rocket. And the circuit boards we can't do until the boat comes in and they figure out how to get the circuit boards and they do the recycling machine, and so that one's gonna be a little while. But we can go ahead and bring the dispenser inside here. And give it the motors. So that will dispense everything so we don't have to feed it by hand. Now, technically, you could make some assemblers and stuff in here if you really wanted to, but if you look at how many machines that it takes to make the steel motors, I mean, they are right here, and all of this would have to fit. So I just don't think it's really worth it, personally, to try and, you know, put it all in there. But to each his own. We definitely want to keep production at full peak as long as we can to get these steel beams. And of course, you know, all the other things that it takes to run this factory. I hope this video was helpful. If you liked it, please give us a like and subscribe if you want to see more.